Next topic we'll learn about the network theorem. Okay. So basically in your syllabus we'll have type I think in your syllabus you'll have three types of. One is the superposition theorem, position theorem. Another one is the theorem. Another one is the Norton's theorem. So first we'll learn about in detail about the Thevenin theorem. Thevenin is basically Norton's theorem. Norton theorem. Okay. So first we'll learn about the Thevenin theorem. Thevenin is a scientist name and on the basis of his, for that we have to follow certain steps. Step number one, that is find out the value of load resistance. Okay, like I'm drawing one diagram and in whichever branch they ask you to calculate the current, that resistance is the load resistance. Like suppose they ask you to calculate current in 8 ohm. Okay, so 8 ohm is your load resistance. If they ask you to calculate current in 6 ohm, then your load resistance. If they ask you to calculate current in 4 ohm, then 4 ohm would be your load resistance. Okay, understood? That is step number one. Find out the value of load resistance. Resistance is 8 ohm. Step number two, that we have to open circuit RL. Okay, open circuit RL means we need to remove the RL 8 ohm completely. Rest of the diagram will be same. 10 volt as it is, 4 ohm will be as it is, 6 ohm as it is, and this one is 3 ohm will be as it is. Okay, just mark it always as A and B terminal. So these two terminals are open circuit. Understood? Next is the step number 3, that is calculate Thevenin voltage. Okay, Thevenin voltage is denoted by VTH and that is equal to AB. So now what we need to calculate? We need to calculate VAB. Just imagine that you are standing at A position and you have to move towards B, right? But as you can see that there is no direct connection between A and B. So you have to move it, like you can move from A to C, right? Then C to D, then D to B. Or you can move it like A to C, then C to D, then to F, F to D, D to B. But if you'll have the shortest path, then why would you choose the longer path, right? But just imagine if there is a current source in the C to B path. So again, you won't go through the path where your enemy is present, means where your current source is present. Then in that case you have to take the longer path, otherwise you'll need to choose the shortest path. From both the cases answer would be same only. Okay, so VAB we can write down simply AC plus VCD plus V, right? As you can see that VAC is how much according to Ohm's law? IAC into RAC, right? VCD how much? ICD into RCD. VDB how much? IDB into R. Now, can you tell me how much current is flowing in AC and DB? As you can see, it's an open circuit, right? It's an open circuit. So, in the open circuit, will current flow? Yes or no? No. So, IAC is 0. So, this complete term is 0. This is also 0. What is left? ICD into RCD. RCD they have given already 6 ohm. Correct? Hmm? So now our focus is need to calculate ICD. If we get the value for ICD, then can we get VAB? So ICD is how much? Like suppose just imagine you are moving, so current should also move from C to D. Correct? If you are moving from D to C, then current should also move from D to C. So that depends. Current is moving in the same direction, in which direction you are moving. So to find out the value for current, we can simply apply mesh analysis. Mesh analysis equation would minus 4 ICD minus 6 ICD minus no, plus 10. So we'll get ICD is how much? 1 ampere. So we can substitute here, then we'll get VAB, and that is equal to V. Thevenin voltage means VTH, that is equal to 6. Okay, that is our step number 3. Next step, step number 4, calculate Thevenin resistance. Okay, calculate Thevenin resistance. Thevenin resistance is denoted by RTH. For that, voltage source must be short circuit, right? And current source must be open circuit. Okay, voltage source is like this, the battery symbol, and the current source like this. Okay, just imagine that voltage source is your relative, the relative which you don't like, and he's coming into your home. So when you see that you is coming, what you will do? Open the door or shut the door? So you shut the door. Okay, short circuit. And current source is like your friend. So whenever you see your friend is coming to your home, so you open the door or shut the door? Opens. Okay. Now in this case there is only one voltage source. So voltage source like this. Rest of the diagram is same, right? We just short circuit the voltage source. This one is 463, 4 6, right? This one was the diagram. This one was the diagram. We just remove the voltage source and short circuit it. Okay. Now just imagine you are standing at A position and towards B. Okay. 4 ohm, 6 ohm, and 3 are your friends. Okay. So whichever of your friend they are connected in the same path means you can go to the both the house at the same time. That means they are connected in series. But if any two of your friends they are at the different path means you have to think whether I can go to this house or this house. Then that means they are connected in parallel. Okay. So you will start with your friend which is far away from you. You are starting standing at A. You need to move towards B. Which of your friend is far? 4 ohm, 3 ohm, 4 ohm. So you'll start with the 4 ohm. 4 ohm is connected with the 6 ohm. So these two houses, they are at the same path or at the different path? Different paths. So can we say that 4 parallel 6, right? Because they are at the different path, right? Now as you can, this is 3 ohm. Now these two resistance, they are at the same path or at the different path? Same path. So that would be connected in series. So basically RTH would be 4 parallel 6 plus 3. 4 into 6 divided by 4 plus 6, that would be 24 by 10 means 0.4 plus 3, 5.4 ohm, right? Hmm? Now in the last and the final step, step number 5, we need to calculate current, whatever they have asked. They don't ask you to calculate VTA, they don't ask you to calculate RTH, whatever they want. But they want to calculate current in 8 ohm, right? So now in the last and final step, we'll need to current in 8 ohm. We calculated VTH, right? VTH is connected in series with RTH. Okay. And in the starting step, we remove RL, then RL would be connected back to A and B terminal. Now in this RL, that is 8 ohm, we need to calculate current. According to Ohm's law, I is equal to V by R, right? V is how much here? H, and R is how much here? RTH and RL are connected in series. So that would be RTH plus RL. We already know the value for the VTH, that is 6 volt, right? We already know the value for the RTH, that is 5.4. 5.4. RL is 8 ohm. Now can we solve it? Then we'll get the value for current. Hmm? Okay. Now see, how will you remember the steps? It looks like complicated, but it's not. No problem. Just imagine this is your house. Okay? Whatever the circuit they have given to you, that is your house. In the step number 1, you have to find yourself. In whichever branch they ask you to calculate current, that is you. 8 ohm is you. Okay? In the next step, your parents removed away from you from their house. Why? Because you are not studying, you are not earning, you are not doing anything. Then they said, Shritama, leave our house. Okay? You leave their house. Okay? Then your mom started calculating potential in you. Potential means voltage, right? Means she is calculating good points is in you. So she is saying like, my daughter is not so much bad. She has some good points. So she started calculating good points means voltage means potential across you. Okay, where you were there, you were always marked. Where was the load terminal? Always mark A and B. Clear? Now, in the next step, your dad started calculating resistance. Resistance is the weakness, or we can say the bad points. That my daughter has this weakness, this weakness, this weakness. Okay, okay. Now, finally, your mom started calculated good points. She put their points. Your dad calculated bad points. He put their points. Both the points are combined, and then they finally decided to bring you back to your home at the same place where you were there across A and B terminal. Understood?